Hey, babe,
What?
guess what today is?
I'm so excited. I think I know what it is. Tell me.
Today is our very first episode of the Offstage Life podcast.
And I'm Lauren.
I'm Kate, and this is where we talk about music, we talk about life, and everything in between.
Literally.
Everything.
Yeah. If you guys like the pod, please like and subscribe on all media outputs, YouTube, Instagram, where you listen to your podcasts.
That'll help us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoy. Is my top nodding?
She's looking good.
I think the top knot is actually going to be the third co-host of the show.
I think it's a trademark.
I think so too, actually. It's been crazy, but this is going to be our first episode of the Offstage Life.
Offstage Life with Kate and... you gotta say your name, honey.
Lauren. Before we actually properly get into it,
Can I just say one thing that I can't
Here we
handle
go.
right now is that our glasses are different. Does anyone else find that really disconcerting?
I think it just adds a bit of drama.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, darling, what were you going to say?
Before we get into the actual podcast today,
Yes.
I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've written some notes down.
You're very organized.
I know. Okay, I want to know from you, what's the most surreal backstage moment you've ever had? So surreal.
Surreal.
Yeah.
What's your estimation of surreal? Because
Well, it's subjective, isn't
I
it?
suppose it's the first thing that pops into my mind.
First thing.
Being backstage with, I guess, heroes, like people in the music industry whose records I've listened to, and then it's like, oh my God, I'm literally sitting next to this person and I'm about to play.
Can you drop a name?
Yeah, Eagles of Death Metal.
Oh.
Yeah, and Richie Ramone from the Ramones. So it's pretty surreal when you're in the same room as people who are major recording artists, and yeah, you're just like, but it's just me, and they're like who they are. For them, they're just them.
Exactly. So the surreal moments you would say are being backstage with icons, heroes, people that
are well known, pretty status.
Yeah. And you have that moment of like, this is a surreal moment. This is weird. Oh my God, I'm right next to them.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
How did I get here? Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Very cool.
Well, we're going to get more into some of these topics today.
The backstories.
Yeah. But first of all, I know we already sort of introduced ourselves, but formally, we are the Offstage Life podcast.
We are.
With Lauren and
Kate.
We are a married couple.
We are.
We've been together for 11 years this year.
This year it will be 11 years.
Yeah. And
so let me ask you a question.
Okay, go on.
So what has made us do this now? Because we have always talked about, we'd like to be able to exclusively do something creative with our time. And we've both had our own experiences in the creative arts, but we've never worked together.
No, we haven't.
But we've always wanted to do something creative together. So why a podcast? Why now?
Why now? I guess over the last few months, and this is being really, really honest, the last few months, we both have full-time jobs, which we both really love, and we're good at what we do. And it's one of those things where we all need a job. We all need money. We all
have
need...
our offstage life where we have bills to pay and households to run, pets to feed.
But the last few months, I've really been just having this feeling about, there's got to be more. There's got to be more to...
There must be more than this provincial life.
What's the next part?
Tonight I'm going to make Belle my wife. Something like that.
Yeah. So there's gonna be more than this provincial life, right? And
Yeah,
I just kept thinking over and over and over, and this has been a thought for years now as
it
well, but
has.
really the last few months. And then specifically over the Christmas holidays that we just had, I was like, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be something. And then one
Mhm.
morning I just said to Kate, why don't we just do a podcast about, and it started originally about Kate gigging.
Yeah, and
And
our life around my gigging schedule
yeah,
and how the 2 mesh,
yeah,
that on-stage, off-stage life.
yeah. And then it morphed as things do, the more we talked about it,
Yeah,
into actually the offstage life isn't just about musicians or
no,
actors or massive creative,
people who
yeah,
perform.
performing creatives. It's for anyone. You know, I used to be a beauty therapist and I had my onstage life as a beauty therapist, which was a lot of the time quite different version of me in my offstage life. And it's everyone. We all have
Yeah.
that,
It's
don't
kind
we?
of, along the same lines of, we wear masks, don't
Mhm.
we? Like, everyone masks,
Yeah.
some more than others, but then you come home and you're often you're more authentic with your family, with your
Mhm.
loved ones, you're more vulnerable, and those masks come off. Um, whereas, if you're working in certain industries, you've gotta act like a professional, and sometimes you're not when you get home. So, it's that trade-off, that balance between
Yeah.
your on stage working life and then your off stage life and
Yeah.
everything in between, all the mess, all the
Mhm.
drama, everything.
Yeah. So that just morphed into us going, right, well, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's that saying about people who are successful in business, but this can be in relation to any goal or anything. The difference is they just start, they just try, and they just
Yeah.
do. And it's that literally is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
we've been together 11 years and we've talked about doing things together for years and we just never have.
Yeah.
And that's why nothing has ever happened because
Yeah.
we never tried.
And you have to activate the idea.
Yeah. So that's how this has come about. We have loads of ideas. We have a few guests lined up already. We want this to be a really fun, inclusive, safe space for everyone where we talk about basically everything. We're tired. I'm tired tonight, actually. So I don't know if I'm going to be as unhinged as I normally am, but we'll see. The top knot's definitely going to be,
Go and give us the top knot.
babe. But that is a brief of podcasts.
Yeah. And the vision, I guess. And we'll see organically how it evolves and grows with our guests and with
Exactly.
each other. But I guess we should get back to the point
Yeah.
of today's
So
podcast.
the first podcast we're going to base around Kate. And I thought, why not interview our first musician for the podcast, which
Yeah.
happens to also be my husband. It's actually going to be about backstage
And I
stories.
haven't really, I don't know what you're going to ask me.
Yeah,
So
we're just going to
we're going to see where this
see how it
goes.
goes. So, the first thing I'm going to ask you, I think you've already answered this question, so I'm going to go to another one. I want you to take me back to the first time you realized that backstage life was actually a very different world.
Yeah. That's quite a hard question
Mhm.
to answer because I think depending on what musical scene you're playing in,
Yeah.
backstage can look very different.
Okay, so for
So,
yours.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I grew up playing in the UK punk rock scene. The first gigging band that I was in was called the Itchy Tits Girl Punk Show.
Love that name so much.
Such a fun band to play in. It was for music students. They were all vocalists and they were like, we want to play instruments, but we don't know how. So they did the punk rock thing and just picked them up and started playing, started writing songs. They all sang and it sounded so epic. So when the drummer left to pursue vocal endeavors, I stepped in to do the drumming and yeah, was gigging with them. So
So how
back
old were you? Okay.
maybe
So this was
19
like
or
your first like
20.
proper band.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was really cool because I'd played in bands before, but we'd never really made it outside of the rehearsal
Yeah.
room, you know, like we were a band, but well, I think we maybe did 1 or 2 gigs, but this was regular
Yeah.
gigging in London and outside of London. But for me, especially at 19, it was the coolest thing
Mhm.
ever. And I felt real big and cool
Yeah, of
and like,
course.
it was great. So backstage with that band,
Ye
we were often playing grimy, cool, popular venues in London, but, like the other bands would be drunk and
Mm.
half naked and sweaty,
Mhm.
and backstage was not glamorous at
No.
all.
Oft it isn't.
No rider, basically no money, nothing to do the gigs.
What's a rider? Because I didn't know what rider meant until I met you.
So a rider is usually alcohol, drinks, some food. So you can give like a list of
So you've been given a yeah,
provisions that you
yeah,
would like backstage,
as
and
part of, like, the payment.
yeah, part of the payment. Um, yeah. So if you don't get a guaranteed amount of money, sometimes they'll give you a rider,
Mhm.
sometimes you get both. We got nothing because you're a 19-year-old punk rock band playing in London, and it's the ethos is you should be grateful to play our venue,
Mm.
which you are because you
Well, at
can
that
sell your
age,
merch,
you're
you can sell
quite
your CDs,
yeah,
and it's just cool. And
yeah,
your friends come along, and
yeah,
you're playing to like 10 people,
but you
and
don't care because 'cause you're
you
doing
don't
it.
care, and it's good vibes. So backstage in that scenario was chaos, mayhem, messy. You
Mhm.
want to get out of there, you want to play and go home. But then, yeah, the more professional you get, the more
It's very
organized it
different.
is backstage.
So that was the first time you realized what you thought backstage was gonna be like was
Yeah.
probably quite different to the reality in that
Yeah,
situation, in that
100%.
scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So at what point did that particular situation change? So it was quite different backstage for you then. When did it change for you? At what level did that change?
So another band that I was in was a female Ramones tribute band. We had a booking agent and we got paid, we got a rider. So we'd stepped up in the world and we usually got our own backstage area. So
Mhm.
it was predominantly just for us. If we did have a support band, then it would be one support band
Yeah.
that was chosen by the venue. They would share it with us and we'd all introduce each other, and then like it was a lot more organized, and all we really wanted was
A cup of
a
tea.
cup of tea. How did you guess? A cup of
Because I know
tea,
you.
a pot of hummus, a basket of fruit,
That's so funny.
um and then yeah, maybe a bottle of
Something.
rum or
Yeah.
whiskey that we would not drink because we were all driving or taking it in turns to drive the van around on tour. But you would end up with 10 bottles to take home after the tour, and we'd split them up between us. So
Yeah.
it was and to be honest. For me, and I would say for a lot of people that I've played with, having a calm backstage
Mm.
area is great because the bigger your band gets, the more fans you get who wanna talk with you, they wanna interact with you. It's nice to have that quiet space where you can just go through the songs in your head, focus, warm
Do you
up.
ever stretch? Did you ever stretch?
I
Because you don't stretch that much now.
I mean, I'm not doing like a full yoga routine or anything like that, but I definitely stretch my hands, my arms,
Or did we say
and my
that you're
legs.
a drummer?
I'm a drummer, yeah.
Yeah. Kate's a drummer. I don't think we mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
very important, and I remember a time when I didn't stretch, and I was just like, "Yeah, just jump on stage," and the lactic acid literally
Mhm.
froze my hands, and then I couldn't play to my potential because I was like, "Why is this happening?" So I
Do
can't
you
remember
remember when you got
what. What are you gonna bring up?
we were out after a gig, this is here
Yeah.
in Sydney, I
Ah,
think a
yeah,
year
yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
you were
I got
outside,
cramp.
you got a cramp in your toe. It was your
Yeah.
toe.
You know, I don't know if you guys have had
It
this.
was the funniest. It was quite, for me, it was funny.
It was funny for you. I felt like my toes were crossing over.
Yeah. So the lead singer of Kate's band, Maria, bless her, was like, "We need salt. We need salt." So one of the girls ran back into the venue
Security guy comes out with
with a
a
whole
salt shaker.
actual salt shaker, and Maria's like, "Put it on your tongue. Eat the salt."
Yeah, and I think in the meantime, she'd taken my
It
shoe
was
off and was
massaging.
massaging my toes, and I'm, like, sitting in the car with all these people, like, fussing around me.
Oh, that was so
It
funny.
was helpful, and it did go away. So, yeah, I obviously hadn't had enough salt, and that gave me a cramp in my
It was
toe.
quite chaotic,
Yeah, I've
that
had that
moment.
when I've actually been drumming, like,
Ugh.
halfway through a set, and I get toe cramp on my hi-hat pedal foot, which is not the best, and you just have to carry on, you know?
Literally.
Again, backstage life,
You
you
just
wouldn't
have
know
to
that's
continue.
happening for
Yeah,
people, but it
exactly.
is, and it's, frustrating.
So this leads on to my next question.
Yeah,
What is one of the most chaotic backstage situations you've been in?
chaotic. I mean, I
Yeah,
think what I described at the beginning with, you know, in the early days,
but like something specific.
I remember at this one gig, I think we were in Shoreditch or Whitechapel,
Mhm.
somewhere in East London, and the support band were so drunk, and one of the guys literally just pulled his pants down,
Oh,
like his
where? What, on
underwear
stage?
backstage,
Backstage?
and just got his schlong out and was just waving it around, and we're like, "Okay." That was pretty chaotic. I've
That's
been
disgusting to think, like,
yeah,
ugh,
and
don't
look,
get me started on this stuff.
this this was probably 15, 20 years ago, probably. No excuses.
Mhm.
It would be completely different story
Yeah,
nowadays.
definitely.
Um, and I'm pretty sure we were like, "Put it away, you can't do that."
Mm.
We've had all sorts of things that's a whole new podcast, that topic of
That is
exposure
definitely,
and comments made.
I would definitely wanna keep that for another
We
podcast
definitely
because
do.
that's like a whole thing, and we'll probably invite Lucy to talk about that, who is the bassist in
My current band.
Kate's current band, The Frocks. So yeah, we'll probably skip that for now, but it's definitely a backstage,
Yeah,
even
there's
on stage issue at times
yeah.
for you
It
guys.
can be chaotic
Yeah,
anywhere for sure.
100%.
You know, been on tour in Europe and been backstage and people are offering you all sorts of drugs and
Yeah,
there's hookups going on. Like, yeah, there can be complete chaos, but it's not every gig. It
no.
literally depends what the venue is, the kind of genre of music you're playing, and the people who are there. You
Mhm.
know, as I say, the more professional the shows are, the cleaner it appears backstage.
Yeah,
I know there are a lot of professional tours that are sober tours as well. So
explain that.
sober, so
Yeah,
no drink, no drugs
so they don't allow it on the
tour, yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. Okay. Well, I have another question, and I put this in here on purpose because I was part of this particular story
okay.
and experience, and it was absolutely fucking hilarious for me. It was anyway. So
So this was a recent occurrence, was it?
yeah, it's within the last 5 years. Can't remember exactly when it was, but I've written notes down here. Famous person encounter. So,
Who are you thinking of?
who's someone you met backstage?
Yeah.
This wasn't actually backstage. This was in a really cool place in the Opera House that really surprised you.
Yeah, okay,
Tell
so
the
you want the whole story?
story. Not so it's gonna take like 2 hours, but
A
yeah, I want the
summarized
story.
story.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, yeah, so this was really cool. A friend of mine was drumming for Iggy Pop. They're over, in Sydney on tour. Was it when we'd moved back or before we'd moved back here to
I
Sydney?
honestly don't remember.
I don't remember
I
either.
don't remember.
We were in Sydney at the same time,
Yes.
let's just say that. Sorted out some tickets to see the show, saw my friend Matt play. Totally awesome gig.
Mhm.
Got invited to come up and have a drink with the band
At the
afterwards.
after party. Yeah.
Yes, backstage. So
In the
thank you,
Opera
Matt, for
House.
that.
Yeah.
That was that. I mean, that on its own was pretty
That
cool.
was amazing.
So I guess the only expectation was like, oh, I wonder if Iggy Pop will be there
Yeah.
and we'll chat to the boys, catch up with Matt, hadn't seen him for
Yeah.
ages. And then we're up there and I'm like, oh, oh my God. And you're like, well, babe,
I was
because
like, Kate was just like, oh,
I'm
like a
like,
stunned mullet,
brazen,
like
yeah.
fish, just like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Hello,
Are
like,
you having a moment?
what's
What's
happening?
going on? And I'm like, babe, that's Henry Rollins. You're like, Henry who?
At the time, I had no idea who this guy was, and I was like, who's Henry Rollins? Like, what?
I'm like, Black Flag?
And I'm like, nah, no idea.
Yeah. So massive punk rock singer,
Mhm.
poet, activist, awesome dude.
He's amazing. I know
Yeah.
about him
And
now,
he's
but
standing right there. And I'm like, where am I? What the hell is happening? Like, just seeing Iggy Pop for free at the Opera House, catching up with my mate. Henry Rollins is there. And then my mate's like, you guys all right? And I'm like, oh my God, Henry Rollins is here. And he's like, yeah, have you met him?
just casually, have you had a chance to meet Henry? Have you met him before? And Kate's like,
I'm like, no,
being really casual.
no, I haven't actually.
It was so
And
funny.
then, yeah, so he introduced us and we had a chat and it was totally awesome. And then it was time to leave and we got in the car with Henry Rollins and the band.
It was
And
the tour bus. It was a bus, like a
it
big
was a
van.
minibus
Not the
going,
tour bus, it was their
it was like
bus.
a minibus going back to the hotel,
They were
I think.
dropping them all back at their hotel. And Matt was like, do you guys need a lift? And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting in the bus with the band. It was like so cool.
It was
So
really
we
cool.
go down to the car park of the Opera House.
Yeah.
Not
You're just
just
grinning.
not just
You're just
like
like, yeah.
public car park. It's where like the band goes,
And the
everyone,
bus and the
yeah.
gear and
And then we drive out, and
yeah.
then they were like, and we were like, just drop us here. And they were like, okay. And we're like, bye. We're hopping off the bus.
Yeah, see you soon.
And then we're walking back to our hotel, just grinning and going, what
the hell just happened?
happened? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty
that was
cool
so,
night. Yeah.
that was so cool.
Yeah. It's all about networking.
Which we're both a bit weird with, aren't we?
Yeah, like sometimes it feels fake, but I
Yeah.
guess you just got to do it, you know?
You've just got to try.
But total gratitude for that
Yeah.
moment.
It
Like,
was one of the coolest moments of my life as well. Like,
yeah,
even though I had no idea who Henry was at the time, I certainly do now.
100%. And even just being out on the balcony,
Yeah.
looking at the Harbour Bridge after the show with a glass of Prosecco or something, just like, wow, this is the light. Like, this is
It was so cool.
like, what? Yeah, just moments of what the hell, but cool moments.
It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Are there any other stories you wanted to tell in regards to meeting famous
Meeting
people?
famous people. Yeah, I mean, look, I've been fortunate to either gig with well-known artists or just to have other friends who have played with them and then by default meet them. Do we want another story?
Yes.
Story time?
One more story.
One more story.
And then I'm going to ask you some like, yeah questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like first answer I think of.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So story time.
Yeah.
So I guess my other big story would be
Who is it?
Eagles of Death Metal,
Yeah.
Richie Ramone. So we mentioned this earlier. The Ramones tribute band that I was playing in had done a show already with Richie Ramone. And then we decided to do some shows in America. And we did a show at the Viper Rooms in LA.
Is that a well-known room? Yeah.
Johnny Depp used to own it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I think it's on the Strip. I'm
Right.
pretty sure it was on. And so we flew over and we didn't take instruments with us because we were kind of lo-fi, you know, going on holiday and doing some shows. And
So how were you guys going
so
to
we had
actually
to,
play?
yeah, we had to borrow instruments in every city that we played, which we figured out we knew musicians in
So you had
these. Yeah, we
contacts.
had
Okay.
contacts and we borrowed gear, which was awesome. But when we were in LA, we borrowed Richie Ramone's gear. It was just
That's so cool.
It was really, really awesome of him to lend it to us. And I just remember driving from the hotel to the venue and get into the venue and Richie Ramone is just leaning up against a brick wall at the side of the venue with his cymbal case and a snare drum
It sounds like you could have just
and a
taken, like, a
guitar.
photo, like, it would have been, like, a perfect
It
photo.
was like the original album cover for
Like,
the first album, like, it was, nighttime, like, it was so cool. And again, like, just fucking grinning, like, "What the hell is
Mhm.
happening?" And then, obviously we knew him already, so we're like, "Thanks so much for lending us this." He's got, like, a Mosrite that they actually used
What's a
on
Mosrite?
Mosrite is a brand of guitar,
Okay.
electric guitar, and it's the brand that Johnny Ramone
Yeah.
used,
Okay.
live and on the records. So he had one of these guitars that they'd used live and all that,
That's
and that's what our
so
guitarist used that night, and
cool.
so that on its own was like
She must have been buzzing.
we were all just like and at this point, we're probably 25 to
You're
30,
still
like that
babies.
kind of
Yeah.
age, and we're just like, "Wow, this is so, so cool." And then we get into the venue, and I hadn't twigged that Boots Electric was the singer of
Mhm.
Eagles of Death Metal, and I had actually met him before, but it was his night at the Viper Rooms. He, like, promoted a
Yeah.
night there. So we get there, and he's there as well. I'm like, "What the hell? This is crazy."
It was just, like, all happening.
Yeah, and then we're backstage with him and his band,
Yeah.
and that was surreal because you got Richie Ramone and you've got the singer
So
of
it's
Eagles of
all
Death
these
Metal.
people.
Yeah, and then that I don't know if it was that venue, but it's kind of it's just different to, like, gigs in Europe because the stage had a curtain,
Okay.
like a velvet
We had
theater
what yeah,
curtain.
I used to dance with velvet curtains when I was a dancer.
Did you?
Yeah, there was velvet curtains at every
And they're drawn, and then
and they're
it's like
drawn,
and then
yeah,
basically
and then
we're
they
yeah,
open.
it was so
Yeah.
strange because I'd never done that before. So we like, set up and we're, like,
So the curtain's
behind the
drawn.
curtain's
Yeah,
drawn and we're behind it, and
and then it opens.
it's like, "Start playing." "Oh god, okay." And then the curtain opens and there's, like, people
Yeah, but that's
there,
cool.
and we were like, "Okay." And we were so jet lagged.
But the adrenaline would have just kicked in.
It did, and look, the show was great. People were singing along and dancing and enjoying themselves. Imposter syndrome definitely kicked in on that one. But yeah, that was a very cool moment. And then we're all chatting afterwards, and we end up, going back to his house for an after show party.
That's cool.
And it was like one of those moments where it's like, we have to go.
Yeah,
We're
you
not
have
going
to.
back to the
Yeah.
hotel. We're not going
No,
to bed.
you can't miss.
We have to do
Yeah.
this. This is like a once in a lifetime moment. So yeah, like
Oh, I love that.
we're going. Come on. Follow
I've
the guy.
yeah, I've heard these stories so many
Yeah.
times, and I love hearing it over and over again because
Yeah.
it's you can see how excited you
Yeah.
still get because you're still in touch with Rich Ramone.
Yeah.
You often
Very decent
exchange
guy.
messages here
Yeah.
and there, and it's just
Very
really
grateful.
cool.
Look, it's just a really cool thing to have happened in my life.
I hope we get to have more of those.
Yeah,
Maybe, we'll
it's
see.
cool. We're still living a pretty cool life
We
now.
are, very much so.
So yeah, they're definitely cool stories with celebrities and memorable moments.
That's really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions now,
Yeah,
and they can just be you can answer however you want to answer them, but they're just gonna be short and sharp.
short and sharp. I need a sip of Coca-Cola for this.
Okay. So I want you to think the first things that come to your mind when I say these
Do we
things.
really want to unleash the first thing that comes to my mind
Maybe
for
not
these?
tonight, but we'll see what comes out. We can always edit it.
That's true.
What fans never see backstage
Nowadays,
for you?
for me,
Yeah, could be past, could be present.
the tea, the cups of tea.
It's usually max 1 or 2 glasses of prosecco, and then
Yeah.
if cake can get your
Oh,
hands on a tea, it's gonna be a tea.
especially when I'm packing my gear up at the end of the night, if there's a cup of tea
It's so
at
you're
the
so
same time,
English.
like, it's so good. It just gives you that little pep, to like pack up and drive home.
Yeah. Biggest misconceptions about live music.
It's really hard making a living in the live music industry and maintaining the work and the relationships and the energy levels.
We're going to talk about that definitely on another
Yeah.
podcast in more depth. Thank you. How backstage,
We're just
how
making words up now.
backstage life changes your view in the industry or of the industry, sorry,
I think
or how it changed.
Yeah, like, I think when it was more chaotic in the early days, I was like, "Well, do I really wanna be doing this?"
Yeah.
Like, I just wanna play to the best of my ability, and if, like, being in a big band or a consistently touring band means having to do things I'm
Mhm.
uncomfortable with or, kinda take part in a lifestyle that isn't in alignment with my values, then do I really want it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I think it's just about finding the right people to play music with
definitely.
and accepting that other people are on their own journey and whatever's going on backstage is up to everyone individually. And you can still have a good time with people
Yeah.
without judging them.
Yeah. Okay. Best backstage snack. I think we already answered this,
Yeah, I
but we've
think we
got
did.
tea. So what about food?
I do like a pizza
You love it, and you love
backstage.
a schnitzel.
Yeah.
You
Something I can
love
like eat
schnitzel,
cold and snack on. Yeah.
especially from the Colonial.
Yeah,
They do good
they
schnitzels.
do.
Most awkward backstage moment. It was probably what you mentioned earlier
Yeah,
about that
just
human
people being
dropping his
weird and
dacks and getting his willy out.
yeah, people
Yuck.
just doing weird stuff and or people just having weird conversations with you and you're like, "What are you talking about?" It's yeah, just weird interactions with people.
What about, like, because I don't want to generalize here, but I'm going to anyway. A lot of musicians have quite a big ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some.
Some. I'm generalizing.
I mean, yeah, we all do really, don't we?
But what about, like, have you ever witnessed like a really ego moment?
Look, I've had
Or like, yeah.
yeah, like I remember when I was a teenager, again, one of these bands that didn't gig, we'd have members that would have like temper tantrums and, kind of just throw their instrument down and walk
And
out the
walk
door and
off.
slam the door or,
I'm done with this.
yeah, just real emotional moments
Yeah.
happen a lot.
You've had a few of those too.
Me
Not
personally,
ego, or maybe, I don't know.
look, yeah, I mean, I've had moments where I've got really angry because I haven't played well.
Yeah.
But again, that was probably when I was like 20 years old and I'm 40 now. So
Even in the time we've been together, the
yeah,
last 11 years, you have changed a lot in
thanks.
regards to a lot of different things, but especially music. I feel like you've really settled into
Yeah,
your own when it comes to your instrument and the industry. I feel like you're a lot more yourself.
thanks.
Yeah.
I think it's hard enough as it is without you being your own enemy on top of that.
100%.
And at the end of the day, we all just want to enjoy music and playing with people who are like minded and want to get the same out of it. We just want to have fun, play music, and get paid,
Yeah.
so that it funds whatever, whether it's a full time position or, play money on the side.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to finish off with one of my backstage moments,
Yeah,
actually.
love to hear that.
Yeah. So I was a dancer growing up, and I used to dance in the school spectacular. Most of the Aussies that are going to listen to this that know anything about singing, dancing, acting, and drama will know the school spectacular.
Whereas if you're not listening from Australia, you probably won't know
No.
what that is because I had no idea.
So, from memory, someone in the comments, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's all maybe state schools in New South Wales, so public schools, maybe not private schools. I can't remember. They all get together and it will be, a selection of can't even talk tonight, a selection of maybe dancers, singers, actors, even like jugglers or anyone from like the circus industry will come together and put on like this massive show. And we did it in the Sydney Entertainment Centre in Sydney. I'm not sure where they still do it, but they do still do it. So it would happen every year and would have rehearsals beforehand and put on this massive show, and it would get televised as well, which is part of the reason why I think we used to get really
Does it
excited.
still get televised?
Yes, but they only televise certain things, segments of it.
Be pretty long otherwise.
It's like 3 hours long, I think. So what they would do every year is they would get a well-known artist or band to come and perform.
To show everyone how it's done. And what to aspire to.
And so this one particular year, it was Human Nature. I still love them. They're awesome. I think even you guys would know who Human Nature are.
I definitely heard the name. I don't know if I could sing.
You probably would know some of their songs. But so they were there. And so we were all backstage in our dressing rooms. And I don't think we had dressing rooms. I think we were just put in the hallways because there's too many of us. And then we walked past the dressing room of Human Nature. And I was like, it's Human Nature. And I can't even remember how old we were. I think it was like, I don't know, 13, 14, and a bunch of young girls. Oh my God, Human Nature. So we were showing off and doing.
They're like a boy band, right?
They're a boy band, yeah. And started doing high kicks. That's so stupid. It was so dumb to show off. Like, so dumb.
You're like, yeah, look at me.
Yeah, look at my high kicks. And I hadn't stretched. And I did my high kick, and then I felt a pop and fell to the ground and I felt paralyzed for a couple of seconds. It was really, really bad. So I ended up pulling my coccyx bone. It went from being straight down to angled to the side. So I think I might have even like snapped a tendon or a muscle or something. No, I performed.
You performed with
Yeah.
a broken coccyx?
I performed, and then I don't think I did the second night. I can't remember. I'll have to ask my mum about all this, but that's
a pretty chaotic
that was extremely
moment.
chaotic.
Yeah, 100%.
It was, and it was the dance that we were doing was Moulin Rouge the Can.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was, we had to do high kicks in it, and we had the skirts, and I loved that dance, but that was one of my most.
And you just had to carry on.
You just have to carry on.
Yeah.
Which I've danced through many injuries in my life. But yeah, so.
It's interesting.
It's really interesting. And
so many stories.
There's so many. And even though we know quite a lot about each other, I think we're still learning more and more the more we talk about it because we remember stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to remember it until your memory is jogged.
Yeah. So I think that takes us to the end.
Time for us to jog on, is it?
It is time for us to jog on and jog on to bed. I am
whiny.
Whitey.
Wifey wants a whiny was what I was trying to say.
Yes, I do. Thanks for listening and watching. If anyone's watching, let us know from this podcast if there's anything else that you've heard so far
that you would like to know, or
that you'd like to know more
about us, about the industry,
delve into more.
And remember to look us up on Instagram with the Offstage Life podcast.
Correct.
And
give us a follow.
Be on Facebook and all of the social networks. You know what? My eye is twitching.
It's been twitching for days.
It's been twitching for like 2 or 3 days.
What does it mean? But we're going to tune off. Tune off? We're going to jog on and tune off.
Is that going to be our catchphrase?
With the top knot.
Time to jog off and tune out.
Thanks for listening and catch you guys around.
Yeah, thanks guys. Bye.
Bye.